Welcome to ZoomInData. In this video, we are going to understand incremental loading in Azure Data Factory. Incremental loading helps us reduce unnecessary data movement, and it plays a very important role in performance optimization and cost efficiency. Incremental loading means loading only new or changed data instead of reloading the entire dataset every time. It works by tracking the last processed value. This is a very common requirement in enterprise projects. In a full load, the entire dataset is reloaded every time. This is simple but very costly and time-consuming. In incremental loading, only the delta changes are processed, making it far more efficient and scalable. Most real-world systems deal with large volumes of data. There is usually a limited processing window. Incremental loading helps in cost optimization and ensures faster pipeline execution. Incremental loading is commonly used for daily transaction data, log and audit tables, CDC-based source systems, and time series datasets. One of the most common approaches is using a date column like created date or modified date. ADF filters records greater than the last run date. This is the most widely used incremental strategy. First, we store the last processed date, also called the watermark. Next, we use a filter condition in the source query. Only new rows are loaded. Finally, the watermark is updated after successful execution. Another method is using an ID or sequence column. Examples include order ID or transaction ID. ADF compares the maximum processed value. This approach works best for append-only tables. The watermark is a key concept in incremental loading. It tracks the last successfully processed value. It can be a date or numeric ID. Without a watermark, incremental logic cannot work reliably. The watermark must be stored outside the pipeline. Common options include a SQL table, Azure Table Storage, or even a control file. Control tables are most popular in enterprise designs. ADF uses several activities for incremental loading. Lookup retrieves the last watermark value. Copy activity loads the filtered data. Stored procedures and conditions help update and validate execution. Failure handling is extremely important. The watermark must not be updated if the pipeline fails. ADF dependency conditions help manage this. This ensures data consistency and correctness. Sometimes data arrives late or is corrected. In such cases, reprocessing is required. This is handled by manually adjusting the watermark or using audit-driven reload logic. Incremental loading relies on filters and watermarks. CDC captures insert, update, and delete changes. CDC depends heavily on the source system. Incremental loading is controlled by ADF logic. Always filter data at the source, not in ADF. Use partitioning where possible. Avoid full table scans. Well-optimized queries greatly improve performance. Common mistakes include updating watermark too early, hard coding values, ignoring late arriving data, and not setting up proper monitoring and alerts. In real projects, daily sales data is loaded using date-based incremental logic. A control table stores the watermark. The pipeline runs on a daily schedule. Interviewers often ask what is incremental loading. They test your understanding of watermark implementation. Difference between incremental load and CDC is very common. Failure handling is always discussed. Incremental loading is essential for scalable pipelines. The watermark drives the entire logic. Proper design helps avoid data loss and duplication. This approach is enterprise-ready. Thank you for watching. This video is brought to you by ZoomInData. Our goal is to help you learn, build, and scale data solutions. Subscribe to ZoomInData for more Azure Data Factory content.